Show. As everybody knows, a show needs an intro. This is that intro. I am Fisher in the foreground, Sam in the back. I've got 2 cups of coffee coursing through my veins. What you think about that? Ow! Boom, boom,
Let me take it on.
Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Dana. Robert. I hope everybody is doing well today, and I hope you... Hey, there he is. There he is. Just in time. All right, well, get that. If you want, go ahead and get that camera turned over on you then. And
you ready for trivia?
You ready for some trivia today?
No. Embarrassed myself last time.
It's not that you embarrass yourself, Chris. It's that I really shined. Is what happened.
God.
All right.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, there we go. We got Chris in the shot there. I want you to take the CD out from under that and have it point down a little bit. You're kind of in the lower third of that shot. All right, we got a few things to talk about before we get into On This Day today.
Hi, everyone. Sometimes I'll look up and I'll notice that you haven't switched it yet, so it's been on me, and then I'm like...
We'll start right there. Sam has only got a few more days left with us.
What?
Yes.
No, it's like 2.5 weeks.
Okay, so...
Still a few more days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you going?
I'm moving to Orlando. Yeah.
For what?
For
LOVE?
life, yeah.
I'm with it. Hey, man, if it's love, chase it.
Yeah. Well, my boyfriend just got a great job in Orlando, so we have to make a decision.
Okay. I speak myself.
Yeah, it's a joint decision.
Okay, how long has it been together?
We've been together for 1.5 years now.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So...
But he's about to graduate from USF, so it's kind of like applied for a bunch of jobs. Yeah, we live.
Oh,
we live together now.
You gotta go, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have to, but I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Trust me.
But I'm still young, so
Yeah, like
not a
if
bad
you're
place
happy,
to start.
listen,
Yeah.
It feels good. Do it.
No worries.
Life is too short, man. Life is way too short.
Yeah.
If you're happy, do it.
So
It's
Sam,
not too far away from here.
So Sam, I know that you like it here.
That sucks, though.
I do. I love it here.
And
That's the downside to this.
Right. So how did that conversation go? Is this something that you knew was likely coming for a while after he graduated, or?
It was a possibility. It wasn't like he intentionally applied for jobs like in Orlando. It was just kind of applied for jobs here, applied for jobs there, ended up getting a really great one over there. And after many long, stressful discussions, that's kind of what happened.
All right. Well,
but it's all good. I'll be here until
guys.
May 4th, so that's like...
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, there you go.
Rosio says, hi, any chance of adding subs?
Subtitles? Or like people
is that what she meant?
Or maybe someone to sub in and for her.
I think you're probably right. I think she's talking about subtitles. You mean like this?
Well, just give us this answer back and let us know if that's what you mean. Please, thank you.
I guess
we're
so.
here for you.
I want you guys to have your own show. That's what I'm trying to set up for.
Okay, well then let's talk about that. That'll be item number 2 then, because that's something that Chris and I talked about. Okay, so let's slow down a hair here. First of all, Sam is leaving the show. It's going to be a couple of weeks, but
will I be here for the 100th episode or no? When is that?
Yes, that's May 1st or 2nd.
Okay, yes, cool.
Good,
Sick.
Yeah, I believe that's
Sick.
Wednesday.
You gotta be here.
All right, cool. No, that's fine. I'll be here. Cool.
Now, do you have anything lined up over there? Do you know what you're going to do, or you're gonna figure it out once you get over there?
I have some leads. I'm kind of the audio just went out in one ear. That was weird. I don't like it. I'm gonna take this off. I don't like it. Yeah, this is the only ear that has audio.
No, I feel you. When I was in Hawaii, I only had one ear on. It drive you crazy. I can't do it. So I feel those beats away.
Sorry,
well,
it just
as an old
went
club
out.
DJ, that was a
move.
Yeah,
it's okay. It just threw me off. I'm sorry. I was listening to myself.
You'll see me do that sometimes too. I don't know why. I'll just throw it off. But
okay. Anyway,
it's not like we need them.
Yeah, no. As long as they can hear the audio, that's all that matters.
So yeah, what are your leads, and then in what industry are you looking? You're looking to become the social media director for a company over there?
For a travel agency or like a resort company, that's the ideal.
Because I know that you had some aspirations of being in radio, and if you want, I'll make sure that we give you this video so you can edit it if you wanted to, and then I can hook you up with. I don't know a lot of people in radio in Orlando, but I do know one person.
There's a Cox Radio over in Orlando that I know is over there.
Yeah, and I'm sure I know a couple of people there that could help you out, but also at iHeart, Johnny Magic, where I got my start.
Oh, yeah.
He's been there for 30 years at WXXL, which is 106.7, the top 40. But anyway, so if you are interested in radio at all, your skills in the social media realm is huge in radio now too, you know. So just let me know, and I'll make some phone calls for you.
Cool, I appreciate that. But I'm here for a while more, so it's all
Do you
good.
know where in Orlando you're going to be living?
Probably over. He's working over by the Mall of Millennia. Is where he's working at the Hilton corporate office.
Nice.
So
that's off of exit 87, off of I-4, I believe. 87, 88.
man, I don't even know.
I used to live in Orlando. That's why I was asking. Yeah. Cool.
I don't know.
Well, congratulations.
But it's fine. Thank you.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So that brings us to Chris. So Sam's like, yeah, I want to make this happen.
I want to make this happen. Yes.
I think we want to make it happen too,
Absolutely.
right, Chris?
Yeah.
I think I know.
So do we propose now? Do I get down on one knee? How does this work?
Don't play with me, Chris. Don't play with me.
Did you?
Yes.
Did you talk to Corge yesterday?
No.
Okay.
Because there was an issue that happened on location
Oh, I
somewhere,
Yes.
and I was like, now is not the time to do
Yeah,
that.
not the time.
So I let it go.
Okay.
Right.
Because that's what started the conversation for us yesterday was Corge had introduced Chris to a couple of people. Oh, the guys that we had on the show yesterday from, what was that? Infinity?
Yep.
The Infinity Tampa Bay.
Infinity.
Yeah,
Tampa Bay.
the Infinity Tampa Bay. And
Andrew and Matt. Those are cool.
Yep. And Cords, and how do you introduce you? And Chris, he comes in on the show sometimes or something like that.
Yeah.
And you were like, hey, no, I look at myself as being a part of the show.
Absolutely.
So what's the deal? And so, yeah, I guess we just have to talk and have that conversation. So what does that mean to you? That means Tuesday through Thursday?
To Friday.
I'm sorry, Tuesday through Friday.
And then some Mondays if I don't like, perfect example. I played last night. I played Tuesday, played last night, played tonight, played Friday, played tomorrow, played Sunday twice. So Monday generally I gotta just so I won't really do anything. But if it's not like a crazy packed week or weekend, I'll come in on a Monday.
All right. So here's the thing, Chris. You and I have talked about this for years, and here it is right in front of us.
Right in front of us. Here we are.
Here's our chance. If we're ever going to do it,
We're going to do it
let's
now.
do it.
Like she
Let's
just
do it
said,
now,
she's
man.
young. We're young. Let's ride.
Yeah. Well, you're young.
We are young.
You're young and healthy.
We're young.
I had to go get I got another testosterone shot yesterday, and this one left a mark. Like I woke up this morning, my left butt cheek is nice and sore. I hope this works eventually.
But let's do it, man. I think everyone, you guys like it. I like it. It feels good too.
Yes.
Like I said, man, if it feels good, do it. That's why I'm here as often. We have aspirations, of course. That you and I are like just trying to help people. I think we're positive men. We're intelligent men. We care. I think it's a positive thing to put out there. So I think we should do this.
Right, and you and I have similar worldviews and things that we want to get accomplished. We want to have positive impacts in the community.
Yep.
Andrew, that's right. Drew came from Orlando. Drew Garabo was in Orlando. I used to listen to him at Real Radio 104.1.
Yeah, he follows me on Twitter.
Drew
Oh my
does?
goodness, yeah,
Nice.
Drew follows you on Twitter.
he does.
You don't be following me.
He's nice. He tweets me sometimes. I was like, oh, okay, hi.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He, when my father was in the hospital at MD Anderson going through the cancer treatment and whatnot before he passed, he and his family came out there because you'd stay there at the hospital, and he came by one day and took me to lunch. He and his family, so I'll never forget that.
Aw.
All right, Chris. So back to this. So the Wake Show is Chris Fisher and Chris McCarty.
I like
C
it.
squared.
All right,
Yeah. Done.
I like it.
Do you know that's what we were?
Did you hear us say that before, or did you just say that right off the top of your head?
No, I just said it because you both have C's in your names.
Okay, because I can pull you notes from
Or
what
like
was it,
C time. I was
2015?
like C times C, or I was like C squared sounds better than C times C. So.
Well,
That's a little crazy.
the funny thing you say that is he and I, when he and I were talking about doing a show in 2015, 14, it was C squared.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
C squared.
that's
that's
funny.
crazy. I was
I
like,
think-
that's why I said it's you.
No, that's funny.
Whoa.
No,
So
I
I
just
guess
figured
that'd
because
be
you're both
C
named C.
Also, good morning too to our friends from Single Source Insurance.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sponsoring the first 15 minutes of the show. If you're interested in sponsoring a quarter hour of the show, message me and we'll talk.
But I like to say this: once things really take off for us, you got to come back.
Oh yeah.
Talk about
when we're-
Sam?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's how you start. Ends how it begins. You know what I mean? So once it's like, boom, we're going to be like, hey, you need to come back. Good.
Once I'm listening on my way to work
Yeah,
in the
be like,
mornings and you're both on there.
That's going to be cool. That's cool.
I'm trying to see if I've got the notes for C Squared. I know
That's
I have
crazy.
them somewhere, but they're not. I don't have them right.
Also, trivia coming up really soon.
Oh, that's right.
Can I ask the questions instead? Because I just feel like
No, because this is important.
This is important.
establishing dominance. This is why.
Yeah, this is important.
Okay, well, Chris, I think one of the first things, first orders of business. What are you eating over there? I'm starving. What do you got?
Oh,
what do you
there
want
you go.
tonight? No, I'm just kidding.
It's the breakfast of champions.
Skittles?
Skittles.
So the first order of business then I think is going to have to be the show intro.
All right.
You know, I'm having fun, you know, but I can't sing, and you know, with you in here, it's almost ludicrous that I'm singing the intro of the
It
song.
makes sense that you do it though.
Yeah.
Well, it's making sense up until now, but I think we could really, like, just record something solid and let that be the.
Hear me out.
Music, but I think it sounds better with your voice.
Really?
Yeah.
I have an idea.
Go ahead, Sam.
I've told you both this idea, and I need it to happen.
Can you
We
produce this
film
show
it in
from
the
a?
studio. Yes, sure. I can do whatever you need me to do. We film it in the studio in black and white, and you're both crying when you're singing it, and it's so funny.
Make it over dramatic,
Yeah.
melodramatic.
Or you're just like, literally, that's it. Like, you're just
So
singing
we
it.
make it nice and slow, and you got the real serious.
And you're like hugging and everything.
Welcome to the Wake.Show. All right.
As everybody knows, the show.
So Chris, yeah. So Chris, and your message is updated. What's going on? Quit message. Don't you what's going on over here? Oh, I wonder if that virus kicked in.
It might have. Don't even say that.
I hope not.
Well, you know, we'll just keep it moving. So,
Oh wait, I didn't want to do that.
Anyway, I have some trivia questions. Maybe you guys can redeem yourselves.
it's a trivia question. How long does it take a virus to kick into your computer?
Yeah.
No, for real though, there was a virus up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was an Apple virus, so that's
Well,
why.
it was trying to make it look like it was an Apple update for something, but
Oh, wow.
it wasn't.
See,
Son of a gun.
why
That's.
why do y'all do that? Why? Why do you want to mess with people?
I don't know, man.
Viruses, why?
Joran.
Steal identities? What is wrong with you?
Jordan's chiming in. McCarty, I remember opening for Chris McCarty as the Gita at Skipper's Smokehouse over 10 years ago. Same guy? Yes, that is the same guy. Jordan, how have you been? I hope all's well.
That's
Good
cool,
to have you
man.
on the show.
You still
caught up
playing
with you.
music, brother? Let me know. Come on back. Let's play some more. We'll go back to Skipper's.
Matt from Masteries.
My dog.
Matt says, back to the video idea, like an extreme music video, more than words. Like that, more than
I
words.
think that's awesome.
More than
That's what
words.
she was talking about.
Yep.
That's a good idea.
You're a genius, Sam.
Yeah, we could take the music and kind of, melody. It's a plane.
It's a plane, man.
Oh,
He
jeez.
thought it was the apocalypse. Oh, damn.
Hey, we have planes.
Tell my mama I
missile.
love her.
Speaking of which, Inside Flight 1380, we'll get
I'm
to.
not going to be in this room when you go over that because it freaks me
It just,
out.
yeah.
It legit, like, playing stuff like that freaks me out. I can't do that.
Well, did you hear the audio of the pilot? Mary Jo, whatever, I forget what her name is, and I feel bad because she was the first female Navy pilot, right? And the first woman to fly an F-18 or something like that. Jordan says, doing great, playing here and there, opened a meditation center in St. Pete.
We're there.
Cool.
Hey,
We are so there.
Message us your information.
Yes.
We're going to be there. And then we're going to get on the show and we can talk about
Yeah,
that. That's
yeah.
really great.
Yes, I would love to do that.
Chris and I have done a lot of meditating and together and whatnot. This is perfect. So good. Thank you, brother. Good.
Yeah, that is cool. Awesome,
What
Jordan.
you were saying.
Maybe we'll come in here and do a meditation session down in the psych
Maybe we
room.
just press play and you and I just sit quiet like this.
Well, didn't
everyone meditate at home?
Sam, didn't Corge do that? Didn't he bring in a yogi or something like that and have everybody in the
Yoga Nidra. Haley's mother does Yoga Nidra, and she'll come in and relax us. Yeah.
relax yogi?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll figure out. Well done, Jordan. Well done. We'll figure out the intro part of this because Chris is feeling the intro as is. You know, we'll do it live.
But that more than words idea might be really cool.
Okay, we'll come back to it then.
Show, the only show you ever need to know. Oh man, we could have some fun with it. Yeah, that's a good look. That's a good look.
All right. Well, my computer seems to. Oh, what is happening? All right, let's force quit there. Let's force quit there. Yeah, report.
It's trivia time.
I know. Since we're not going to be able to get to on this day, did you do this again?
No, I didn't, but it's trivia time.
But I think like we roll the punches. If this is what it is, it's trivia time.
I have the questions. Let's go.
You can help Apple improve products. No thanks.
Oh, no, your computer's sick.
Dude, yeah, it's sick. Let it go, homie.
Has an
Just let it go,
illness.
brother.
Chris, do you wanna shut that
All
door?
right.
What do you need me to do?
Shut the door. It just lets the air
What
escape.
the hell happened to my computer? As you can see, that's my computer in the background there, up on the TV screen, and it is gone black.
Computer's sick,
And
dude.
that stuff rarely happens with an Apple. That kind of
Right,
stuff.
that's true.
It's ill.
Yeah, it is. My poor little thing. Do a little restart and see what happens. All right. So here's the deal with trivia. How many questions are we doing? 10 again? Or are we going to do first to
I think it's gonna be
five?
the same level of like. I mean, those questions last time, babe, were just like, whoa.
Yeah, but
This is 100 general trivia questions now. So this
Can we
is
do
like
can
very
we do
general.
Sports questions, like we should do that. Sports. The next week we can do like movies. Next week you know what I mean? Let's do. Anyways, go ahead. I'm just trying to win, as you guys can see.
Well, Chris,
I like sports.
But
I know that.
but also, there's something different today, right? Because today you don't have any medicine in you, right?
No,
Right. So you've been medicine free for 5 days now.
a week.
A week. So that's a difference right there. Your brain's going to fire off a little quicker, right?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
Let's see.
That's also something we want to talk. What we want to talk
We'll
about
talk
today.
about that, yeah.
We'll come back to the conversation that we had yesterday too, because I know you had some stuff you were getting off your chest.
Yeah, and I
yesterday.
want to thank everyone for allowing me to be vulnerable and honest. It's a good thing sometimes when you get to a place where you feel safe and you can express certain aspects of your life, and it really helped me. I feel a lot better today. I felt and then I know I connected with some people out there about being a single parent and the difficulties in it. And so I just wanted to say thank you. But it was, everyone you're allowed one time to be like, you probably won't see that again, me again.
No,
I'm just saying you probably won't. You probably won't. Because,
speaking from experience, I know what you are saying or trying to get, but it will happen again, and it's good because those are moments of authenticity, moments where you're not sitting there thinking about what you're saying. You just have to keep talking through whatever is happening in your head, and I think that's also something that's going to separate us from other shows in the end too. So
yeah, I mean, because I like to be the guy coming with love and bring nothing but love.
I understand
and,
that,
and people need that, and so I try to just stay on the positive because it's a choice, But that was a moment where I was like, you know what, it's getting to me. I gotta let this out. So
thank you once again to Single Source Insurance for being a sponsor of the first 15 minutes of the Wake.Show, and message me if you would like to be a sponsor as well. Let's get to some trivia.
Oh, yes.
All right, so 10 questions is what you said, our first one to 5.
10 questions.
All right, 10 questions. We use our name as our buzzer is what we did, right?
we did.
Yeah.
Fisher McCarty.
Right.
Is that what it was?
No, you both said Chris.
We
last
said
time.
Chris.
Yeah.
But can I interject for a hot second?
Sure.
My phone broke, so I haven't been able to get in touch with anyone. How are the boys? I thought about I want to reach out, Roxy and Joey. How are they?
Roxy and Joey are good. They're a little disheveled.
Okay. But it's great. That's great for Lauren because remember what you told her about her history. That's some healing. That's a way. Good.
You're
That's
right.
good for
You're
her,
right.
man.
You're
That's
right.
good because that's a.
Because she was a wreck there in the morning. The vet made her feel better by the time she had turned the dogs over. Joey lost all his teeth though. And if I get my computer,
What?
If I get my computer up and running again, I'll show you.
He's gummy.
So
He's not Joey. He's gummy.
the top row.
Ugh.
I think canine to canine. I don't know. Well, and he's only 4 years old. He's only 4. But Roxy was up bouncing around afterwards. She's 12 years old. Had a bigger dosage. Because by the way, they got their teeth cleaned. And since he got some stuff pulled and whatever, $900. $900.
You guys have insurance for him or no?
No, $900. So, but you know what? We'd spend $9,000 if we had to.
There's no amount of money you spend on your things you love. I agree.
This morning walking the dogs because they hadn't peed in a day, so I'm like, all right, let's take them out on a walk and see what happens. And so I passed by a neighbor who was putting his dog in the car, and a big dog. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? He's like, oh, going to the vet. And I'm like, oh my God, you're gonna put, like, here we go. He's like, no, he's going in for surgery on his knees or knee or something like that. What did he say? $4,000 surgery. $4,000. he was getting ready to spend on his dog for surgery. And the guy was not bitching about the money at all. The only thing he was complaining about the rehab was going to be hell. It was going to be difficult.
That's
You know?
family.
Yeah, that's true. That's
But you know, in those moments I smile because I think how great that is. But then all of a sudden my brain will click too and think about a human that's right around the corner that is, you know, that $4,000 would go a long way and da 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 da. So you know, I'll get that.
Yeah, but to people, that's family as well.
Oh yeah,
It is
Because some
family.
people
Yeah.
might not be
We-
able to
yeah.
have kids, or even if it's not that
Well
extreme,
said.
that is still their
So,
family.
yeah, absolutely. Chris and I were talking about that too, man. I had a cat for 16 years. I was 20 to 36. Like he went through every girlfriend I went, every band member, everything from 20 until 36. You know, and then when he died, I mean, I had to put him down. It was the worst, horrible. So yeah, that's family, man.
But he was like, as soon as I can clone her, or it was a girl,
Clone him.
and I was like, well, you can now for $50,000, and he just goes, what?
Really?
You can, yeah.
I'm $5,000 away. Let's go. No.
Yeah, you should look up that story. Like I was telling you, who was it? Barbara Streisand has cloned one of her dogs twice now. Yeah. And it doesn't turn out you're not getting the same dog back because that's just not the way it works.
Yeah.
But it's close, you know.
Yeah, you can look at him.
Yep.
Yeah, man, that's cool.
It's close. All right, so we use our buzzers as their name, Chris and Chris.
Correct.
And the first person that chimes in, Sam, will be the judge who gets in first, gets to answer. If that person gets it wrong, the other person gets to steal.
Okay. Yep.
Now, last time we did first to 10, we didn't know like the first
5
8.
questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, Sam.
All right. Ready? Where is the smallest bone in the body?
Chris,
Yes.
the pinky toe.
Incorrect.
Chris.
That's a good guess.
Chris,
Yeah.
the ear.
Correct.
I was gonna say ear, but I thought that was just nothing but cartilage. Man,
No, inside the ear. Inside the ear is that
alright.
there's I believe that's a little bone in there. I forget
I
what
was
it's
gonna
called.
say ear too. That's
All right, so
a
let me
That's
cover
a
up the
good
comments.
guess,
There we
though.
go.
The pinky
Yeah.
toe. Yeah.
All right, next.
Okay.
1-0, bitch.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go again. I just
All
jinxed
right.
myself, by the way.
Maybe you didn't.
All right. These are kind of easy mixed with hard. Which planet is nearest to the sun?
Chris.
Yeah.
That is Mercury.
Correct.
All right, 2-0.
Some of this is just like it's easy, so you just got to be on your feet.
Right.
All right.
HQ.
Yeah. Right. How many prongs are there on a fork?
Chris.
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
4?
Yes.
All right, 3-0.
Trying to fire these off. What money do they use in Japan?
Chris.
Yes.
This is going to be wrong. The yen?
Correct.
We should just let the game go at this point. I gotta make a serious run, people.
Is that
And the problem is, I walked in saying I'm not gonna win, and here we go. But that's
Yeah,
what
you
it
gotta
is,
be positive.
But I had to laugh. You know, I'm good. We'll go. Let's see.
is that 4-0?
Yes. Okay. Where was Marco Polo's hometown?
Chris, Marco. I'm kidding. No, I don't know this one.
Hometown?
Yeah.
Chris.
Yes.
Let's go with Florence, Italy.
Incorrect.
Damn.
I'm gonna go with Milan.
Incorrect. It's Venice.
Venice. It's all right.
Yes, we're close. What's the Hungarian word for pepper? You actually would know this, but it's like it seems like a trick question.
The Hungarian word for pepper.
Chris, pepper.
Ah.
Incorrect.
Okay. I'm going to go with like
There though.
something for pepper. Hungarian.
5,
You get this,
4,
man.
3, 2.
Chris.
Yes.
Smurfette.
Surprisingly wrong. It's paprika.
Oh, damn. Well, still winning
okay.
4-0. Here we go.
Let's see. What colors make purple?
Chris, blue and red.
Correct.
Well done. 4-1.
Nice.
He's on the board.
What year was President Kennedy killed?
Chris.
Yes.
1963.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
5-1. 5-1.
What is the hardest rock?
Chris. Diamond.
Correct.
6-1.
That's because you're married and you got her a diamond. I didn't give my ex-wife a diamond.
Because I know shit. And I know the diamond's the hardest rock.
Because I know shit you don't know, homie, and that's what it is.
Did you know that it's possibly raining diamonds on Jupiter?
That's awesome.
Yeah, there may even be like a liquid diamond lake there. Yeah, but anyway.
We should stop now. The fact that he knew that there were raining diamonds and liquid lakes in Jupiter of all places, and I don't really know what's happening here in our own planet. We should just let the whole thing.
It has not been confirmed, but it's just a theory. But it's possible because of the pressures. All righty.
What Spanish artist said he would eat his wife when he died?
Eat his wife when he dies. So that is going to be. It's not Salvador Dali because I don't think he ever. I don't think he got married. Let's go with Vincent Van Gogh.
Incorrect.
Don't even look my way.
Don't even look my way.
Take a guess.
What?
Just
Take a guess.
No.
How about Pablo?
No, you already guessed. Take a guess.
Picasso.
Wrong. It is Salvador Dali.
It was Salvador Dali.
Yeah.
Son of a-
I should have said Dali just because you said it.
All right.
What are the music questions, man?
Yeah.
Man, sports.
All right, here we go. All right, all right, Sam. Before you get out of here, go ahead
You
and
can say it was
type
obscure trivia.
I'm doing music trivia.
Yeah, type in music trivia, and we'll do the same thing and see how poorly Chris does then too.
You're a dick.
Great crowd last night at Park and Rec.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of fun. There was a couple of, it's one of those nights where you had a couple groups of, large groups of women that were out celebrating something, one with a 30th birthday and another group thing, and they were just all night long.
It's raining, man.
Yeah, it would have drove you insane because not one of them could sing, but they had a good time.
That's all that matters.
Time up there.
All right.
Also got a $20 tip last night that took care of my tab. So
Did you really?
Nice.
Don't you love those?
Well, it's huge because to do that 4-hour gig, I don't sing, and there's a lot of anxiety. So I do need beers. I need some beers to get through the night. But my wife and I are pinching pennies, and so she's like, "Can you get through the night without them?" I'm like, "No."
If you heard all I was listening to, I got to numb something.
She's like, can you just try for a few weeks? I'm like, I'll try. So I'm ordering some beers last night, and then finally, somebody gives me a $20 tip, and it covered my tab perfectly. I was like, all right, I don't have to show this to my wife.
Let me tell you something I tried last night. I was at I was playing. Where was I? In Krabby Bill's in Annie Rocks Beach, and I got my first tip. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tipping. Tip everyone. Just to let you know, all proceeds of these tips go to me sending my kids to private school. And you wouldn't believe people started clapping. I was like, dude, do you know how much money I made in tips last night?
$300.
A little less. Less. That's nuts.
That's great.
Well, I'm stealing that one. I'm stealing that one.
I'm saying so. Yeah. So listen, hey, by the way, if you guys tips go to me taking care of my blah, 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 and people are like,
but that's not untrue though. So
it's not untrue. I mean, yeah, I'm literally paying for my kids to go to private. But
yeah.
it was like, I played for 2 hours and 15 minutes straight. First set, I was just in it. And no one was leaving, so let's keep going. And I'm not really paying attention. I got down to the end of the night, look at my guitar kits, and I'm like, stop.
Damn.
So try that.
Well, I'll have to say that
it'll take your kids to the
paying
dentist
for
our kids' dental work.
Dental work. There you go.
$900 dental work. We'll see if that works. Can we see pictures of your kids? Yes, they're very furry.
They don't have any teeth anymore.
Don't judge us.
Speaking of Park and Rec, Sam, before we get into the music thing, I wanted to bring this up. Remember, I told you there's 2 stories from last night that are awesome, right?
Yeah.
One is I got flirted with by a young, someone in their early 30s, a very attractive woman. She was asking for something, and she complimented me on my eyes and asked if my wife and I had kids, and this, so I felt a little, because I'm 45 now and
still got it.
No, well, when I'm out in the clubs like that, there's not too many compliments, coming from the young ladies these days. They're more like, who's that old creepy guy that we have to talk to in order to get a song on. But so that felt good. But here's how awesome the universe is. 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes. After that, this guy sees me and he goes, "Oh man, I bet you people in here don't even know who you are." And I was like, well, I mean, some people in here know who I think, he knows me from the radio, right? I think so. I'm like, there's a couple people in here that know who I am. And he's like, oh, listen, I don't think anybody knows who you are, man. I love you, man. Da 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 da. And he gives me this hug, and he's like, can I buy you a shot? And I'm like, sure. Or you can buy you a drink. I'm like, sure. So he brings me up to the bar, introduced me to his buddy, and he goes, nobody knows who he is. And his buddy goes, who is he? And he goes, this is Shooter McGavin, man.
Stop!
The guy was drunk AF. Drunk AF, right? Man, I even gave him a hug. Where he hugged me, I gave him a hug back. Thinking, well, this feels kind of good. I just got a compliment from a woman complimenting my eyes. Then this guy's like, oh my gosh, I know who you are, man, and nobody else here knows who you are. Can I buy you a drink? This is Shooter McGavin. And I was like, oh my God. Well, the funny thing is about the Shooter McGavin thing, it's not the first time I've heard that.
The thing is, when you said it, I can actually see it here.
Right,
like,
you're right. It's in here sometimes that I can see that Shooter McGavin thing. All right, let me pull it for. Oh, you guys know who the Shooter McGavin. That's from. Was that Happy Gilmore?
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, great movie.
I just watched that like a couple weeks ago. That's what's really.
So, Chris, I didn't get my drink.
So you told me you weren't Shooter?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have said. I would have done like this.
And I was like, so that's cool, man. Don't worry about the drink. He's like, no, I'm still gonna get you a drink, and that was it. He never came back.
Let me get your drink. No, you ain't shit.
So that was awesome. The universe at work last night. In 1 second, it sets you up. It makes you feel good first. Boost your ego a little bit. The next second, boom, takes your legs right out from under you.
Yeah, I read this quote once. It said, "You're never as good as they say you are, and you're never as bad as you say you are.
You're 100%
so if you
right.
stay somewhere in the middle, you're okay."
You're exactly right.
So that's a good balance.
All right. So that's what I wanted to share with you from last night, Sam.
I have some music trivia.
Let's do it.
Oh, here we go. Isn't it crazy? As you get older, you get less and less compliments as you get older. You got to take those compliments as you get them, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't. Listen, I'm a happily married man, and that woman, that attractive woman who paid a compliment to me last night, was still older than my wife. Sorry.
Hey.
That was my ego laughing. That was my ego laughing.
But it's good that that Lauren knows that you can still catch fish. It's good that she knows.
That's right. That's right.
She needs to be able to smell it on you because she'll still find you attractive. Because if she's still fish, she needs to smell fish, so she knows you can get fish, so she will act right. I'm just kidding. I'm praying.
She knows better. She knows better. All right, music trivia now. Another 10 questions, Sam.
Is it 10? Let's just do 5.
No, yeah, let's do 5.
Yeah.
All right, 5 questions. Here we
What's
go.
the
All right.
score? 7-1.
Oh, no, 0-0.
Yeah, we'll
0-0.
just reset it. It's fine.
All right,
Okay.
All right.
1-0. Gotcha.
What was Elvis Presley's first hit in 1956?
Chris, Hound Dog.
Incorrect.
So I have a chance to steal here. His first hit, Chris.
Yes.
Let's go with Jailhouse Rock.
Incorrect.
Son of a...
Heartbreak Hotel.
Heartbreak Hotel. All right, next one.
Okay, let's see. There were many bands part of the British invasion in the 1960s. Name 3 of them.
Chris.
Yes.
We'll go with the Beatles, the Who, and the Rolling Stones.
Correct.
All right, 1-0. Music Man.
Ah, I like that.
What year did MTV premiere?
Chris.
Yes.
1982.
Incorrect.
Oh, damn it.
1981.
Correct.
Son of a...
God!
1-1.
Let's see.
Damn it.
What year did the Beatles announce they were disbanding?
Chris.
I don't know what this was. I should have just... Go ahead.
Chris.
Yes.
That was April 10th, 1970.
Correct.
Thank you. Do I get extra credit for the April 10th?
No.
An extra 0.5. 2.5 or something. Go ahead.
This is a weird
you know how I
question.
got that right?
Because the day we did the other day. I know. That's why I did this. I was like, oh, we just said that yesterday. Yeah, all right.
Who won the first American Idol?
Oh, Chris. Mm-hmm. Kelly Clarkson.
Yep.
Was it?
It was Kelly Clarkson.
All right, so what's that, 2-2?
Yep.
2-2. Oh, crap.
What year did the Beatles release their first UK single?
Chris. Let's go with 1964.
Incorrect.
I want to say 63.
Incorrect. 1962.
62. Okay.
And that's a shame because I was literally just in Liverpool and went on the bus. Anyways, if you ever go to Liverpool,
That doesn't mean you don't
take the Beatles. What?
it's not like you're going to come out of there knowing all the entire history of the Beatles.
That's true. I was just trying to make myself. Anyways, but go to the Beatle bus. It's the tour. It's awesome.
All right. Do you have any more questions for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this could be the tiebreaker. It's 2-2.
Is this it? Are we at tiebreaker time?
It's 2-2.
Okay.
Let's go.
There we go.
Okay. In what year did the song Rhapsody in Blue get played for the first time?
Chris,
Yes.
1974.
Incorrect.
Just annoyed with these questions. Can we get some?
This is
Is
music
that-
trivia.
is that
What do you
Neil Diamond?
want from
Did you see
me?
this?
Who's Rhapsody
Like,
in Blue?
She didn't even talk about anything past 1985. Like it's just all right.
It's just popular pop culture
I was
music.
popular. All right.
Kelly Clarkson was past 1985.
She did, and she did. You're right.
Touche.
Wait. So let's go 77.
1924.
No.
All right.
Next.
I'm just staring at that.
Do you know the song Rhapsody in Blue?
No.
I mean, I know the name, but I can't.
I know
think of-
Bohemian Rhapsody. That's about as far as I got with Rhapsody.
Still 2-2.
Go ahead.
Tiebreaker.
All right.
Tiebreaker. Here we go.
Who won the second American Idol?
Chris.
Yeah.
I see the face.
I know who it is.
I think I'm going to say the person that's in second got second, but I'm Ruben stuttered.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, that's who it was.
All right.
Um,
How you feel about that music, man?
That was good, but it was good. You see, he's talking smack. You see this? You see this? All right, that's good. That's good.
this is a weird question. Which genre of music became much more popular and mainstream in the 2000s and featured artists?
Chris.
Yeah.
EDM.
Incorrect. He didn't even let me finish.
I thought I was going to be all over it.
Nope. Featured superstar artists like Jay-Z and Kanye West.
I mean, we'd have to say hip hop.
Correct.
That's bullshit.
Is it?
You
Who
wouldn't let
won?
me finish the
That's
question.
bullshit. That's not your
The
fault.
90s?
That's
The
your
90s?
no.
The 2000s.
Bottom
That's
line,
what it says.
the bottom line
Okay.
is you and your ego got a little caught up with hubris.
Wouldn't
Talking
even
about, I
let
know
me
the
finish
answer. I'm
the
gonna say it.
question.
Blah 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 blah. That's his ego. Thank you very much.
I already
It's
won
called
the game.
hubris, my friend. You didn't win,
Yeah, I already won 3-2. I got the question beforehand.
son. Oh, you did.
Right, I got the Ruben stuttered one. I already won the game.
See, that's why
I
he
thought
got
it was
cocky.
2-5.
But that's why he got cocky.
Oh, we're getting 2.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
2-5.
All right.
No, he did
Fair
win
enough,
that because
3-3.
I did say that was the tiebreaker.
No,
But that's okay.
I like it. 3-3.
Sorry,
It's
I
3-3.
thought it
I
was
like it. See,
2-5.
Sam's looking me up because
Well,
she
okay.
saw that and she wants me to get on the board and win.
All right. The reason that it pissed me off is because
Why?
they're saying the hip hop didn't come around until the 2000s.
She said became popular.
Became the most
means
popular recently.
Nah,
Talk about EDM.
Man, go back to the 80s. Seriously, man. I don't
Okay.
know. All right. So 3-3. Then is that where we're at? Yeah, 3-3.
Yes.
Dare to do hip hop trivia.
She just did.
I just did general music trivia. I'm doing my best.
All
All right. Next.
What legendary U.S. festival hosted 350,000 fans in 1969?
Woodstock.
Correct. Oh my gosh.
Throw something at me. You're getting violent. You're getting violent over there. What's going on?
He just had a bag of like those poppers that you use at 4th of July.
Oh, I threw my last one. That's karma for you.
Well, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that Skittle after the show.
So what is it? 4-3?
Yeah,
4-3.
4-3.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Okay.
Next point.
What style of music emerged in the 1970s and featured themes of heavier and louder music with anti-establishment lyrics?
Chris.
Yes.
Punk.
Correct.
Rock.
That's
Punk rock.
great. Yeah, punk rock. Yeah.
4-4.
Who is the email? Oh, be like anyways, no, my brain.
Okay.
Here we
let's
go.
See.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm looking. Hang on.
Dude, there we go. This is it. Come on.
What year were the U.S. Grammy Awards started?
Chris. 1937.
Incorrect.
Dude, I couldn't even tell you. Let's think.
Man, just throw out a number. Channel the universe. See if
50.
So close. 1959.
1959. All right.
All right, we're still here. We're still here. We're still here. Let's go. Let's go.
Which popular musician bought ATV music in every Beatles song?
Chris.
Yes.
Boom, 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 doo, 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 doo.
Yes.
Michael Jackson. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
Where'd you go? There you go.
The answer that I'm mad because I'm very competitive and I lost in something I knew. Man. And they tried so hard to get the catalog from him, and he was like, It's all right.
Well, so
I'll fight another day. I'll win one.
well, I'd like
Good
to
job, man.
I'd like
beat
to
the
thank
music man.
I'd like to thank my my mother and my father and all the people,
Your brothers,
my brothers, and all of you for
Viewers like you.
like you.
for my victory. I couldn't have done this without you. All right.
So, world, that was a high E note that I screamed when I.
Okay, so now, I haven't looked at the board in a while, the messages. So we're a little behind on that. So here we go. Lauren, my wife, she goes, not accurate. I just asked that you don't spend $46 every single week.
Got him.
Talking about, she was right. You're right on that one. I don't need to be spending that much money. And then she goes, I remember when you got flirted with by a cougar on New Year's Eve while I was in the bathroom.
Yikes.
We were out at PCI, right? Was that where we PCI or one of those right there?
Wait, but Lauren, was she a cute cougar? Oh. Was she cute? No, she was a booger, not a cougar.
No, and she was
come
really
and get it. Ooh.
She was all over me. She was very aggressive, and I was just waiting for my wife or girlfriend at the time or fiance, whatever. I don't remember how long ago. I think girlfriend at the time to come back out of the bathroom, and she's working me, and I'm telling her that So when Lauren comes back, this woman was closer to 50, right? And Lauren at the time was probably 28, 29. And so when my girlfriend comes back and we hold hands and start to walk away, this woman gives me this look of
how dare you
go
to younger.
Yeah. She judged me in that model. Screw you, lady.
Did you see this wine?
I have a funny story really quick, if you let me tell it.
Yeah, please do.
So my boyfriend used to do like Uber Eats or something to get extra money last summer, and we had a delivery to this hotel downtown, and you would just pick up the food and take it to the person, whatever, they tip you. So I was sitting in the car, and he ran up to the hotel room of this individual to give her the food, and he came back down and he was like, oh my god, this lady was in just a robe answering the door, and you can see the person's picture like for the delivery drivers that they know like who to look for. So my boyfriend's like 21 years old, blonde hair, blue eyes, like good looking guy. So he's like, she's in just a robe, and she's like, oh, if you come inside I can give you your tip. And he was like, oh, I have to go. And when I was in the car and he told me this, and I was like, what the hell? That's insane. It's very funny Uber at the same time. It's so funny, but also like, what the heck? He's like, she definitely looked like she was a businesswoman who was away from her husband and like in a different city.
Yeah, that's how you don't get that traced. Like, who would they? I looked up at the Uber guy. Like, it's like a. He's like a bucket list dare. Like, hook up with. Okay, let me. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I thought that only happened in pornos.
Yeah, right.
That's a classic. It's gone from pizza guy to Uber Eats guy now.
So funny.
Pizza, Uber Eats.
Yeah.
All right, come on in. You'll get your tip. That is like exactly from a classic porno.
Yeah.
All right.
So funny.
Well, speaking of trivia, make sure you join me tonight at Masteries, and every Thursday night, Masteries Blind Pass on St. Pete Beach. Starting at 7 o'clock. Bye, Sam.
Bye, Sam.
Have a wonderful day.
I'm going to get Jimmy John's.
Oh, you're going to get some Jimmy John's?
Do you want me to order you something, Chris?
No, I'm not allowed to spend money. Plus, I have a big sandwich in the fridge. I'm a good husband. I'm a good boy. I made my lunch. Got a huge sandwich in the fridge. All right, Chris, how are you? Welcome to the Wake.Show, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for chiming in. Kurt, that was just her way to scare young guys out of getting the tip. So Kurt's theory on that woman is she was not inviting him in for sex. She was just trying to scare him away so she didn't have to tip him at all.
Yeah, I think she didn't have a tip, and she was like, "Oh, she felt bad."
Right.
She was like, yeah,
So let me invite him in.
Yeah.
No,
I wonder what would have happened if he gone. You never, he just gone into that door. What,
Well, it wouldn't happen because he has a girlfriend that he loves, and she was also in the car. So
I mean, what if she actually gave him a tip? Like, just come inside and give you a tip. Like, you know.
Oh, in her lingerie or
just saying.
You're not inviting a strange boy. I'm sorry, 21, a man. I'm sorry.
Boy.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a boy.
You're not inviting a strange boy
Young
into
man.
your house when you're in your when you're in your robe, just so you can peel $3 off the counter and give it to him. You're looking for something else. But now, Chris, I know where your brain is. You're like, I want to.
I'm just curious what the tip was.
I would have played out.
You're right.
All right, so thank you so much for joining today. I'm Chris Fisher, along with Chris McCarty.
Yep.
And one of the things we're talking about recently has to do with the future of the show. Mm-hmm. And Chris has been coming in, is feeling it, is liking it.
Yep.
And so we're going to do this show together. Now, I don't know how this is going to work, but here's one thing that I want to talk about, because you know how I love this camera angle, right? This camera shot. I don't like this, though, if you and I are doing this show as co-hosts, because I feel like it's putting me in the foreground, you in the background, and I don't know. I feel like we need to rearrange the studio and have that classic that two-person shot. That you see.
I appreciate you trying to eliminate the back of the bus thing going on. I love you for that. Is that what you like? I don't know what you. Times are different. We don't do that easy.
Good. I'm glad I was able to say it without saying it.
Listen, times are changing. I'm cool with being in the back, man. I'm cool with it. We're all right. Times are different.
All right, so in radio studios, you're in the back. When we're up on stage, I'll be in the back with my cowbell. Ding, ding, ding. All right, so yes,
so you really don't like? I like this. I think it's cool.
Good. All right,
yeah,
as long as you're good with
different.
it.
Yeah.
I've always had issues ever since I had a morning show, going way back into the '90s, with every partner or anybody that I've ever had on a show, to make sure that
yeah, but my ego is in check, dude. I don't, there have been times where I've played with people who they forget that they're on stage and everyone can see them, so there's like a weird thing. They're always trying to get a little closer to the middle, and it's like, and you know what it is, it's like so I'm telling you, dude, I don't.
All right,
care,
it's all
man.
good.
Yeah.
All right, good. So yesterday during the show, Chris had a vulnerable moment, a genuine, real, authentic moment of emotion concerning, and a lot of you related. And the reason that I'm bringing this back up, because I see some of you on here that messaged me personally, and you related, Chris. You related to a lot of fathers out there that are going through some similar stuff,
and mothers,
right? Mm-hmm. It is not easy sharing custody, and things can get a little tumultuous every now and again.
Yes.
Well, first of all, how are you feeling today? Because you were in a place yesterday.
I feel way better. I mean, you see,
You seem better today.
Yeah, I mean, I was also very, very tired. I mean, exhausted yesterday. I've got some sleep and played a great show yesterday. And the fact that after the cameras were off, Chris and I had a nice, more in-depth conversation about everything and really me get it out. So I feel great, man. I do.
Even somebody last night came up to me and shared a story with me. They were watching yesterday.
Oh.
They came out to Park and Rec, and he said he was going through the same stuff, and his kid was, I think he said 12 or something like that.
Well, that makes me feel good, because one thing I asked Deirdre, who people don't know, Deirdre's one of my best friends and business partner, and she really does a good job of kind of telling me if I'm doing too much or too little. And so she just said, sometimes, there's airing your dirty laundry, but she said, I felt like you didn't say all the things that we all know, but you definitely connected with someone. There's got to be someone who feels that. And so for you to say that, it just makes me feel, like maybe it's just no accident. It's important.
And I know that you had some questions yesterday. Well, is that too much? Where do you draw the line? This and this and this. And I did have a thought later on yesterday. Mm-hmm. And that is, just keep in mind when you're going down that path that, this is all recorded. It's all live, and somebody can go back and pull something out of context, take it to a judge, that kind of thing. Go, see, look at this, look at this. He's this. So just keep that in mind. I love that when we connect like that on a very real level, but also know that there could be some consequences. So be careful.
There was a moment, if anyone, I don't know if you're bored, you got time, but there was a moment where I almost started saying, I would say incriminating things, but I stopped. I pulled back. So I know what you mean. Yeah, but there's a level of honesty, and it was great to see other people. And I got people hitting me up, talking about it. And at the show, when I played last night, someone watched the show and they were like, "Hey, I'm really sorry you're dealing with so on and so forth," which is nice. It's nice. But yeah, it's just someone's got it worse, man. I'm sure.
Well, then let's talk about the next order of business, ladies and gentlemen, because coming up next week. Very excited that I'm having my doctor's appointment with Dr. MJ and getting my medical marijuana card and going down that path for see if that helps.
Yeah, man.
But in one of the inspirations is you.
Hey.
But you just gave up weed a week ago. You gave up your medicine a week ago because Chris has his card. Mm-hmm. And you have it for what reasons?
My knee, back in November 2014, so basically 2015, I had a very invasive knee surgery where it was basically I lost all my cartilage. So they went inside, they scoped it, they pulled all the shredded cartilage out, put it on a petri dish, regrew it, stem cell, regrew it, and then they basically just sawed off part of my patella. They lifted it up. They put 2 holes and they put the cartilage back and they reset the knee and they just put some nails in it. The doctor said it was a 2-year full recovery. It's been 3 years now and I'm not recovered. I feel it every day. And that's anyone can tell you.
So you have your card for pain relief.
I'm going to tell you the truth. And you talk about incriminating now it's out there, but, yeah, I think it was, it's a safety thing, man. Like you just, I just don't
like an anxiety. You're saying it's more of an anxiety thing to have it on you to know that you can go to it in those moments when you need it.
Yeah. I just felt like, you do, prescription pills. Like we talked about that. I was given prescription pills obviously after the surgery and got hooked. And, it was a very scary thing in my life to be hooked to something like that and feel it, and so I like doing more natural things. So that's where I went that route, went to the doctor, and when I told them everything I went through and I gave them my medical documents, they were like, "Whoa, you really could use this." So, but a lot of it too, man. Honestly.
Oh, so wait, do I have to bring some documents to my appointment?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure. I think with you, if you have anything that shows that you have anxiety, you've gone to you've checked yourself in or whatever, that won't hurt.
Okay, I've got plenty.
Yeah, then you're good. Yeah, then you're good. But yeah, a lot of it too. I mean, I'll tell you the honest truth. For me, when Ernest died, my best friend, soul brother, when he passed away in August, it really also was helping me cope with that. And that's just honest. Y'all don't understand. Like, I just cried all the time. There are videos of me and my eyes are puffy. And so suppressing a lot of that. And so I went to Hawaii and, got a lot of closure because that's where we lived. And, got a lot of closure from that. And so just like when I got off of the pills, it was the moment of like, I don't need this. I knew I don't need this anymore. I'm not in as much pain as I was. So then it was like, well, then get rid of it. So here, come back and I'm not crying like I was. I'm like, you know what? I don't think I need this. So let's try something natural. Well, let's strengthen our leg. Let's do some more PT and let's actually get through that. And so what I've noticed is probably part of what happened yesterday was, for, months of just trying to cope. Now things are starting to surface, which is probably why I was like, the way I was yesterday, could have something to do with it.
Well, that's one of the questions I have for you is because I know how worked up you were yesterday.
Yeah, dude.
And so in my, from my vantage point, it seemed like, okay, well, this is the time that you need your medicine.
Right.
You got to the point here, if you had your medicine, it would bring you back down here. Right.
And just
but at the same time, does the medical marijuana, just push or kick down the road what it is you need to deal with in that moment? You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, that's a possibility.
Because you didn't go home and use your medicine last night, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Did you go to the gym? How'd you end up working out that frustration?
Okay. I played. last night. And I literally was supposed to do
2.5 hours straight.
Yeah, so I was supposed to do 45 minutes, 45 minutes, 45 minutes, and then like 30 minutes. I did 2 hours and 15 minutes. It just felt so good to be singing and people dancing and kids, and it was just like, oh yeah, this is who I am. I remember who I am, and this is what I'm supposed to do, and it's momentary. This is all going to be over. Just remember the music. So let's go further. Remember I told you my phone broke, right?
Right.
So a couple days ago, it's just one of those things that, you know, you feel like you're walking down a path that you're supposed to walk down. So a couple days ago, I'm on, you know, YouTube, and I see this clip. It was Denzel Washington speaks about social media, and I was like 1:30. I watched it, ended up watching like 3 or 4 times, man, and I put it on my Snapchat for everyone to see. Basically, like, challenge people. It's like, yo, man, the social media, the cell phones are addicting. And he's like, yeah, like, how about this? I take 1 week off and you'll see. And he goes, got real quiet in here, didn't it? So not 2 days later, my phone breaks. And so I'm sitting talking to D. We were talking about everything, you know, trying to calm down, whatever. And I hear this. Why do you think I knocked down your phone? And what's crazy is, and D will tell you, she's on the couch, I'm over here. And I just kind of turned my head and I'm like, and she goes, is someone talking to you? And I was like, dude, I literally just heard, why do you think I knocked your cell phone down? Because here's the story. I have my phone and I'm trying to go into my calendar is on the wall and I'm updating and the phone drops, right? But I stop it with my foot. And when I stop it, I think to myself, oh, well, I probably could have broken, whatever. Do some more things. I get back and I'm doing it again. And it literally felt like someone just hit it out and it dropped. And when it smashed, I was like, it's broken. Pick it up, phone's broken. So now what I've noticed is the phone, that's a highway to me and my ex potentially getting in arguments, right? Or anyone else. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm taking a week, like Denzel said, I'm taking a week off. Whew.
So in those moments, you don't, you see that was the universe, God, an angel, something knocking the phone out of your hand?
Imagine if you just feel like there are no accidents. Imagine if every single, no matter someone cuts you off, someone get any of that. Imagine if everything is perfect in your life. So then I go, okay, well then try to make sense of it all. And then you stop and you go, wait a minute, you just saw this thing from Denzel and you're upset because you're having these text messages with your, how about this? What if you just shut the phone off? Say if you need to get to me, you email me. If it's an emergency, call the police and just take time off from just letting it. So I'm gonna just see, you know, I detox from the medicine, and now I'm detoxing from cell phones. And you know, hey, I want to be better. I think being better is better. Come on, what are we here for?
Being better is better.
Yeah. So I'm gonna see it, and we're documenting it here, and we'll see how we feel. But I mean, I definitely have a lot more energy, and that's fun. And so yeah.
Nikki says God works in mysterious ways. Also, prayer sent your way. Anxiety can worsen pain. I see it every day. Taking care of patients. So yeah, anxiety and stress and not being able to calm down make the pain worse.
Yeah. But yeah, that's like, you know, you understand, man. Life is hard. It's easy to judge. I don't think we're here to judge, but life is very difficult for all of us. It kills you eventually, so that's how difficult it is. And so, at some point, it's true. And so, at this point, like, you know, yeah, like, just, hey, man, try to find something that works for you, and try not to question other things. So I'm trying to do it, you know, figuring out, opening up, being honest.
All right. Let's hit a couple of things that I had on the.
Are you nervous? Because the fact that I'm stopping is not really deterring. You said you were excited, but does that, now that I say this to you, is there anything in you that's thinking, well, maybe I should?
Oh, about the medicine, getting my card.
Yeah, are you sure you want to try? Like, I mean,
no, I want to go down this. I want to give it a shot. I want to give it a shot.
No,
I get the proper prescription for what I need. See how it works, and you know, if it doesn't work or I'm abusing it, you know, I'm using it too often to disconnect from everything, then we'll move on to something else.
Right. It's good that you're trying and you're figuring it out. Like, you know.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Isn't it funny? Because even speaking about it, it's interesting because we've all been, you know, programmed to think, you know, marijuana evil. Like I was too at that point, you know. And it's funny because now that it's legal, how some people are still having a hard time accepting and thinking it's, you know, still bad, because that's we've programmed ourselves that. But now all of a sudden it's okay. So, well, what was the problem before? Oh, well, the government said it was bad, I'm going to go along with it. But now the government says it's good. So is it still bad? So anyone who's listening and being like, Just think about that for a second.
I don't.
Just think about that for a second.
If you're that old school mentality, it's not changing. I don't think, unless there's enough money involved, like for Boehner, who was once the House. The Speaker of the House, and vehemently, passionately against marijuana, now is on the board of one of the biggest marijuana companies out there.
Yeah, because there's money, exactly, and that's what I mean. So it's like, if you see it, try not to bite. Again, I've said this a lot. People try not to bite the apple that they try to feed you. Live your life. What works for you may not work for somebody else. If it does, just trying to judge. Just remember, man, we're all different.
Yeah, Steve, how you doing, Steve? Jennifer, Jerry. Steve was the one that came out last night too and shared related to your story.
Yeah, cool, Steve, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
But at the same time too, I also, as somebody who is an advocate, a proponent of legalizing marijuana, medical marijuana, and recreationally, I am not somebody who is going to start spewing off all this stuff and how it's some wonder plant that will cure all the world's ills, and also not pretend that there's not a downside. That, like aspirin, like beer, like those are drugs. Those are things that have effects on your body, and you got to understand those effects.
Yeah.
And the same thing with marijuana.
Exactly.
You're going down that path as well.
Everything, man.
So what do you? I know
alcohol kills people more than weed does.
Oh, yeah.
We have a problem with weed. It's weird. Yeah, think about that.
So I came across a story in the Tampa Bay Times. And this is from that flight a couple days ago. Inside Southwest Flight 1380, 20 minutes of chaos and terror. Quote: "Dear Jesus, send some angels."
Oh no!
Yeah. Passengers feared they would die as an engine exploded, plunging the plane thousands of feet in a minute. One of the more miraculous things that come out of this, of course, is the story of the pilot herself. And I don't know if you heard the audio or not, Chris.
No.
But she is so calm, cool during the entire time. Just like, oh, yes, half our plane's gone. Okay. Yes, I will. And half our plane's gone. But and then one woman, so tens of thousands of feet above the earth, the passengers clasped hands with strangers, prayed together, and got ready to die. Jeez, 144 passengers, 5 crew members, no apparent warning. The plane's left. Look at that thing. That's the engine there.
I fly a lot, man.
That left engine exploded after one of its fans broke off. A gust of shrapnel blew out a window, partly sucking one passenger in row 14 head first into the sky.
Oh my God!
All right, so you didn't see the story yesterday?
I didn't know any of this, dude.
Yeah, how insane is that?
I don't watch TV, and I don't. Oh my God! I don't have my cell phone to even watch. Oh man, that's scary.
Oxygen mask dropped down. The plane plunged thousands of feet in a minute. Over the next 20 minutes, the depressurized cabin air swirled with wind and debris. Panic and prayers as the pilot rerouted the plane to Philadelphia for an emergency landing. Quote: "I grabbed my wife's hand and I started praying, 'Dear Jesus, send some angels.'" I thought we were goners.
Now, check this out. I say this a lot.
This is her, by the way. This is the pilot. This was her back when she was in the Navy. She was the first, I believe, if I remember correctly, she was the first female Navy pilot.
Fighter pilot.
A fighter pilot, and she was also, I think, the first woman to fly the F-18, I think.
My first ever, first person I was with, she's actually a pilot. One of the few female pilots going on, too, so that's pretty cool, man. Go ladies, do it.
But yeah, that's a crazy story from this week that I wanted to. And if you guys didn't see that, because it details it, it takes you through that 20 minutes of chaos there.
So I have a song called Butterfly, and there's a lyric I say: "Once you hit the floor, you'll never be the same. You've never been on your knees before, but you find yourself praying." There's something about people, I don't care who you are, man, when that moment comes where you really, like, these people think you're dying. You can't think that every single person in there completely believes in God. You can't. But everybody was praying at the last minute.
You don't know that? You think?
You want to tell me that every single person has the same belief? That's what you want me to believe. There's not one person that wonders or questions.
Oh no, but you're saying that in that moment they were probably praying.
Thank you. And you said prayers are yes, dude. At the very end, that's what I'm talking about, man.
I'm sure plenty of atheists at the very end are like, well,
and so check this out. I bet you all 100 whoever lived from that. Do you think they're going to be like, maybe prayer works?
And Nikki says it just happened on a Delta flight too. No injuries or death though. Scary. And then Sam's boyfriend is flying out of town this weekend, so she's nervous.
And I gotta go back to Liverpool too, and that's a 9-hour flight.
Yeah, I don't know. I get just a little bit of the jitters on takeoff. You're just kind of. But for the most part, I don't know. We're very vulnerable in that moment,
dude. Yeah,
if stuff goes down, there's nothing you can do.
It is, dude. Yeah. I got that faith when I get on the plane. I always feel like I have so many things I have to do. I just believe that I'm supposed to help just millions of people and kids. So I would get up there and I'm like, nah, it's not going down to me. But when the time happens and anything's questionable, anything can go down at that point. But right now, no. That's a faith, man. Faith. But those people. Whew, God bless, man.
Yeah. All right, a couple other things that I wanted to touch on today, because I know you and I were talking about conspiracy theories late last week, and one of them has to do with Sandy Hook. I don't know if you and I covered Sandy Hook or not when we were talking about him that day, but parents of Sandy Hook, the Sandy Hook tragedy, are suing Alex Jones. These days, violent events like the mass shootings become breeding grounds for conspiracy theories. Recent lawsuits are trying to change that by targeting one of the main reasons for this trend, and this is this guy here, Alex Jones. I think most of... Well, no, that's not true. Not necessarily everybody knows who Alex Jones is. This guy is crazy as AF. He is delusional. And I believe he believes in every conspiracy theory out there. But, he got the Donald Trump to call into his show. So anyway, the parents who lost children in the Sandy Hook elementary school shooting sued Mr. Jones for defamation earlier this week. Actually, I should probably take back the he's crazy AF, so I don't get sued for defamation. Mr. Jones once said that Sandy Hook was completely fake with actors, and his voice has grown louder ever since. His main YouTube channel now has 2.3 million subscribers, double what it was 3 years ago. Part of that growth comes from his connection to Donald Trump, who has previously praised what he believes is Mr. Jones' amazing reputation. This is also the guy that pushed forward the theory that that pizza shop in Baltimore or Washington, D.C. was the headquarters of some Democratic pedophilia ring. And because the people believe this shit, some delusional... That's not fair. I don't know if the guy that walked in there is delusional or not, or he's just somebody that's in his little corner of the universe, and when he heard this, he thought he was defending the honor of children and going into a pizza parlor and firing off a shot or two. But anyway, so they're suing Alex Jones. Of course, he's going to they're going to use the First Amendment to try to, I don't know. But this is a lawsuit. It's different than criminal stuff. I think they end up winning something. But here's the thing, Chris. Andrew's right here. So now freedom of speech is worth... Yeah, so there we go. My buddy Andrew here. The trick is to get hammered on the plane, then you have no worries. Okay, there's that.
A lot of people do that. It's true. Yeah.
But Andrew is somebody who was talking to me the other day about these kinds of things, and he believes that Sandy Hook was set up as well, that it was not what it was. I'm like, man, you got all these parents who have got dead children. You want to talk to them? And he goes, yeah, I would like to talk to them because I have questions. So, Andrew, my buddy Andrew, a very intelligent guy.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how.
Let me ask you a question. Can we get any of these guys on the show, like Andrew? Like, you got people who come through, and I think we should do that, man. Like,
I've been trying to talk Andrew to come in. Yeah.
Well, we got people who they keep coming every single day. Like, it'd be cool if we can just be like, okay, this, you've been here, you've been loyal. Why don't you come on the show one time, and then we can have conversations with them and see what they think. That'd be kind of cool.
Also, because a lot of times it's easier to type a little message in the message boards than to get on and have a conversation on the air. That has a tendency to freak some people out sometimes.
That's true. But
I'm with you on that one. I'm with you.
I mean, it sounds like Andrew. I'm being intelligent. I would love to have a conversation with, especially with the conspiracies.
So there we go, Andrew. You got the invite from me and from Chris.
Yeah, man, that's my middle name. So
come on in, because he's when we were sort of going through conspiracies. You were on board pretty much for every single one of them. Going, oh yeah,
with him, yeah, okay, cool.
I'm talking about you, Chris. When
I'm saying I'm on board with what he was saying.
All right,
just in general.
Andrew says yes, I will come on the show for real. So we'll have him in here and talk conspiracies one day, and I'll sit back and just make fun of both of you. All right. But here's the thing: in the end, I can't do much, right? I can't, because if I wasn't there, I can't say yes, we landed on the moon. No, the Cubans didn't kill Kennedy. Sandy Hook, this and this, 9/11. Oh, yeah, you're right, I wasn't there, so I can just all I can do is just sit back and go,
yeah. I mean,
interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So, a teenager here in the state of Florida wins $15 million in a lottery. If you were to win $15 million at 18 years old, Chris McCarty, would you still be alive today?
No. No, I wouldn't. It's funny. I was having this. I was watching Steve Harvey. He's one of my favorites. A lot of people's favorites. People don't know this, but Steve Harvey kind of started his comedy career at the age of 38.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right. And so I was thinking about how, I'm kind of on right now, and it was 38, and I was thinking about how, the fact that the things, Chris McCarty Band was really big and all the other stuff, and it's like, I was thinking about how, man, I'm really glad that it didn't happen, because I feel like if it did happen, I wouldn't be here. I just, something would have, I'm a completely different individual than I was back then. So yeah, if I had $15 million at 18, there's no way I'd be here.
This kid won it at 19 years old. 19-year-old man has claimed a $15 million top prize in the Florida 100 times the cash scratch-off game. I don't know that I'd be dead,
this
but
kid is screwed.
I could almost guarantee that $15 million probably would have lasted me about 5 years. I don't know.
I would have given it away to a lot of people trying to be cool and all that. Yeah, man. But now this poor kid, it's like, everyone he knows, they're gonna look at him just differently. He's just like, they don't remember. Dave Chappelle was talking about that. He's like, after he made that, they give $50 million. It's like he'd go places and people would look at him and they just look at him like he was like this $sign meat. Like, you're like, man, they look at him differently. Like the I guess what he said was like the cartoons when like the animals like really hungry and they look at someone and they turn into like the big meat, kind of like you're starving. Like that's how he said like them. So this kid, same thing, man.
18 or 19 years old. If I had $15 million. Yeah, I don't know that I would end up dead, but I would not have
had
it now.
Some kind of disease or kids. I would have been. Oh my god!
Yeah, I would have given it all away. Now I'd be like, stay back.
Right. I mean, listen, man. I don't have that. I question everyone who comes up to me at some point, like, what do you want? What's going on? Like, this poor kid. Ooh.
Right. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Sharon, yeah, I wish you would have someone on that thinks Sandy Hook is a conspiracy. Yes, Fish, you can agree it is not a conspiracy. It is ridiculous to believe that the parents of dead kids would make it up. It makes me so angry that anyone would say that. It is frustrating to me too, Sharon. I don't get a little too worked up because I immediately get very fascinated on how it is that I think humans, we have a tendency. Like I'm talking to people like Andrew, and Andrew, I promise you, is a very smart man. But there's something, I don't know what it is. It's fascinating to me that it's almost like we gravitate, it seems like, to these conspiracies. And I've told you my theory before, Chris, that a lot of these things, like from 9/11 to Sandy Hook to JFK, I think it's hard for us to come to terms with, hey, a couple of crazy guys were able to get on the plane and fly them into buildings. Hey, a crazy guy was able to get up into the book depository and shoot a president. Or the same thing with Sandy Hook. Just some crazy kid is able to kill so many people. Yeah, maybe it's our brains can't handle it, so we go, oh, there's got to be something else, something bigger at play.
But the thing is I feel like the people who do the conspiracy, maybe they go one step further. You wonder. maybe they've experienced something where they themselves were like, they were told this and they saw the truth, and now ever since then they're like, wait a minute.
So now they see everything different. They see conspiracy in everything.
That happened to me a little bit. I was like, wait a minute. Now I can't help but just wonder, like,
well, you have somewhat of a lack of trust for authority or for the government, right? To a certain degree. That's what I was kind of getting as you and I, as Chris and I were going through the conspiracies last week. It from my end, it felt like your perspective was just coming from a place that I do not trust the government. I do not trust when I'm being fed something en masse, whether it's from the media or my government. I just don't trust it.
Right. I mean, I don't trust men, and I just don't trust their intentions.
When you say men, you mean man?
Man.
Okay.
You know, I feel like I see people do things for money. I see people do things for likes on social media, the things that they're willing to do.
The things that people are willing to do during spring break for a t-shirt.
I'm gonna pull my thing. You know, I've gone to one time. I'm not gonna say where it was, but there's a lot of people there, and girls are doing this, and I would see just like hordes of dudes just running to just see, and what's that?
So
all about?
Andrew chimes in here. He says it's frustrating that most everyone drinks the Kool-Aid and gets offended when I believe differently.
Well, you said it's frustrating. Don't take it personally, Drew. I mean, I feel what you're saying. I get what you mean.
It is frustrating.
Is it frustrating because you want other people to be
That's what's
awake?
frustrating.
Because I hear you on that, man. Like, I ate the red pill. I could tell you as to Andrew, when you come, I'm not going to tell the story on air. I'll tell you what happened when I ate the red pill. Red pill, I'm referencing the Matrix. Everyone, they said, there's a red pill, you can know what's really going on with life, and then just a blue pill. I ate the red pill. I know a lot of things, and it's like,
I took them both. It was the purple pill, and then my heart exploded, and that was it.
You and Eminem, purple pills. No, but I understand what I mean. It's like, but you know what, Drew? Because it's our illusions, and sometimes we don't want to see. Like, you can have a conversation with someone, they just don't want to see it. Like a parent with their kid, they refuse to see that their kid is jacked up, and we live our illusions. And
delusions,
and sometimes it doesn't feel good to think that could be a conspiracy. Why would I want to even bite into that? I hear you. I understand where Sharon's coming from. Or is it her name, Sharon? Is that her name? Yeah, I understand it, man. I totally do. I mean, I have children, so but yeah, there's a lot of questions, man. Like even the whole thing that happened in Vegas. I know a guy who frequents Vegas all the time, and he was like, man, I know how these hotels work, man. He's like, you mean to tell me them dude was parked up like 4 or 5 days and no one came? Like, that doesn't happen. They're going to be like, what's going on? Someone's going in that room. He goes, I go to Vegas all the time, dude. They're not going to just let you stay in a room for days and days. They're not going to do that. So it was
he was a whale, which is a Vegas term for big money.
Big money.
And that's not true at all. This guy did have a room that you've got video of him over days, slowly but surely building up this cache of weapons in that room. So even that's but it doesn't anytime.
But that's the thing. And now you just proved me wrong, and gave me as an aspect. The little we know, we all want to think we know everything. Because the person who told me that, I didn't hear this part, and now you told me that, and I'm like, oh well, I guess he was wrong. And then I'm like, you know what? Everyone, we just want to feel like we know everything and we're right, and
also the things that feel right too.
Yeah.
Also those, because if you already are anti-government and they're always evil and up to something, then you're gonna filter everything through those lenses.
That's true,
and see it everywhere. Everywhere you turn.
That's true.
The conspiracy, I guess, coming out of that's the Las Vegas shooting where the guy sat in the hotel room and mowed down people at a outdoor concert. I guess what's the conspiracy though? Is it because every time it's a shooting, the conspiracy is this was set up to outrage Americans so that the government will come and take your guns? Is one of the conspiracies that's always out there every time there's a mass shooting, is that this was set up by the government to take your guns away.
Right.
But see, this is Sharon's question. This is my question too. Is there are so many parents there at Sandy Hook, so many parents that lost children, and they're suing Alex Jones now. How do you reconcile that? Is it just because you haven't met the parents yet? Like if you were to sit down and they're like, yeah, here's pictures of my kid. Here's this, here's that. As a matter of fact, we even have pictures of the autopsy, and
So you say there's someone saying that the kids don't even exist? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I don't know. See, what I do not listen to Alex Jones.
Right.
He is.
Don't take his pill.
Yeah, I don't.
Everyone's
I do not
trying to
take his
sell
pill.
you. Everyone's trying to give you a pill. That what they think. Everyone, no matter what, they're trying to tell you something. So you're right. I think it's a good thing to just don't necessarily take or question the pills that someone's giving you.
What color's your pill?
Mine's red. You want to know some? I'll tell you all kinds of stuff, man, that I've gone through. That I know for 1,000% of a fact that there is something after we go. I know there are people who
You've
think
been to the other side and back.
We'll talk about that as me.
Okay. All right.
I don't think I'm going to divulge that ever. As you said, you're the one who put it out there. You can go back. I'm like, you know what? I'll just tell. There are some people that have heard my story, and it's just like the story never changes. And but I realized that, why did I go down the path that I've gone down to? Because I'm one of those individuals who I really want to know the truth. I seek it. I was a kid going to every single denomination you could think of, just reading some kind of book, something just to find truth. And I found a truth, and I will never waver from it because it's just I know what it is, and it's changed me. So now I'm just like truth. And if I get out of it, I get sick, man. I can't. So that's why I keep people at a distance. Like, yo, I tell people too, like, dude, don't get too close to me because I will change some of the things that you think about in life and have you question and stuff. And I mean, I'm telling you, man, I got people, if you want to, I expose things, man. It's weird, man. I went
all right, we'll talk about it off the air because I want to, depending, because this might be something that if we do it right would be very compelling and useful, on the stream as well. So, all right, let's hit a couple more things. Coming from the New York Post. What the bleep? Americans can't get through the day without cursing is this one. And I wanted to click on this to see what the story was. The average American utters their first curse word of the day around 10:54.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Who says that? How do we get this?
According to
New data. Oh, thanks, new data. Like, I just believe what you're saying.
All right. They study into the everyday stress and frustration of 2,000 Americans, aim to explore how much stress Americans take on and how exactly they deal with it. Having a bad day, you might be one of the 1 in 4 Americans who can't get past 9 a.m. without cursing most days, while the majority. So, this cursing thing, I feel bad. As a non-parent, I vote Fisher as president and Chris VP. Done deal. Yeah, we'll fix it all. We'll fix it all right. Our neighbors, we just bought a house back in November, so we're getting to still know our new neighbors. And they were out, and they had a little one. And I don't know, it looks like he's in like the 5 range, 5 or 6 or something like that. So I can't remember what we're talking about. And all of a sudden I said shit or damn it or something, And I was like, oh, sorry. And I thought when I'd look up at the mom and the dad, they would be like, oh, don't worry about it. But the look on the mom's face was like, and I was like,
dude.
Oh,
yeah, dude.
I forgot, man. I'm in St. Pete now. This isn't Ocoee, Florida, where everybody cusses around their kids right before they tell them to go get a beer out of the fridge. And so I just felt like crap. In that moment too is when I realized that that's when I have a streak, like I say, a streak of narcissism in me. And
who doesn't?
Right, you're right. We all have a streak of it, and some streaks are thicker than others. I don't think that I'm in the category of narcissistic personality disorder where I get way too, but it's there. And one of the signs, allegedly, of narcissism are those public. Your mouth in public, because you're not thinking about the other people, the booth next to you, or the children over there. You're just in your own world, right?
Yeah.
So I felt bad. I did feel bad because I realized that I can't force my way on everybody else. When it comes to my nieces and nephews, we cuss around.
The fact that you felt bad shows that you don't have the negative narcissism that most people do. Period.
Nikki goes, ha ha ha! Who paid for this study? No kidding.
Right?
That's the big question. How often do you think do you cuss around your kids at all?
No,
not at all.
No.
Okay. What if they piss you off? You say, listen here, you little F.
No. No. See, okay. So it was crazy. My parents never cursed.
Yeah, mine either.
And
Oh,
so-
my dad. I take that back. My father, if he hurt himself, like he's trying to fix something, he hit his head.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't. And my parents didn't, and I don't. And, I get on edge if I, but I know that my ex's parents will just just scream and I know that my kids are saying that, so that sucks. But so I don't. It doesn't happen over here.
But the funny thing is that we've been cussing around there's 6 of them, and the oldest one I think is 13 right now. The youngest one is around 6, and 5, and I've never heard one of them cuss ever. Well, that's not true, except when I asked them to.
But it's funny. You asked them to curse.
Well, did I tell you about that when we were at
what's the story?
Lauren and I were at a wedding of a friend of ours, and so my brother and his wife were there, right? And they've got the 2 little girls. Have you met Lily and Lily Ruby?
I think I met them on Thanksgiving that time I came through. Or when they
Maybe.
were born.
They'd have been small.
They were tiny.
Yeah, they were babies if so. But anyway, right, the oldest one is like 8. I think she's 8 or 9. And so, we're at a wedding. We're having a good time. And I don't remember why we were talking about whatever, but I asked, I go, what's the worst cuss word you ever heard one of your parents say?
Oh, do you remember this story?
Did I tell you this already?
Yeah, it's all we should do it again. It's a good one.
So Lily, like I said, she's 8 or 9, and sitting there at the reception, everybody's dressed, in this beautiful wedding attire.
Elegance.
And so I said, "What's the worst thing you ever heard your mom or dad say?" And she didn't even skip a beat. She goes, "I heard my mom say fucking bitch."
Which is why my kids don't watch this show.
It's so funny. It was so awesome. And I know we're raised that if you speak like that, then it's because you're ignorant. It's because you can't find the right words.
Right. I don't know about that. I think expression's expression. But I've seen little kids on playgrounds where an adult says a bad word and they stop and go, "Ooh, you said a bad word." And there's that innocence. When an innocent kid does this, I go, maybe I'm just not going to add to mess that kid up. So that's where I really try my best to never, ever slip in front of kids.
I guess because I've been in the free speech game for so long.
True.
That, and I was, you're not allowed to say shit on the radio. I've always had issues with so-called curse words and bad words. Like who made them bad words? They only have the power that you give them.
Yeah, this is true.
And so so if you're raising a little baby human to have this fear of shit, damn it, hell, piss, fuck, whatever,
right?
Then but I don't know. I understand, but
this is what I was talking about, how, the way life is in society. I mean, it's like you come in here and you've got these people trying to get you to fall in line and fall in order. So they tell you the rights and wrongs and this is don'ts and this, blah, blah, and so you start biting and, like I say, wrapping into someone else's pill. I don't curse because my parents don't curse, but why don't they? And so, again, like at one point you say this is bad, but it's not good. It's so I understand what you're saying, where it's kind of like, well, who says it's bad? What makes it bad? I guess it's you. It's this. I mean, I don't know, man. It's interesting you say that, but here we are. Like I don't know. I don't know why. I curse when I'm not around them. But I just it's weird.
My childhood best friend and I, Corey, when we were, in our, 11 years old, 11, 12, 13, 14 is when we discovered Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, George Carlin, and we would just play those albums
all day. 8th grade, it was us and Eddie Murphy. All of us knew every bit of Delirious. We could tell you, recite the whole thing, man. Yep. Yeah, and then you start learning how to curse. And
I knew Jesus. I told him not to go down to the railroad depot. I go to the Jews. I have no money. Wait, but I probably shouldn't try to pull off any of Richard Pryor's stuff.
I think anytime it's difficult to, you don't want to tell somebody a joke. It just doesn't happen, and it's not as funny as when they do it. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, I think cursing almost in some ways is like a rite of passage in a weird, strange way. It's like young kids turning into adults, and they we all did it. Like I remember being 4th grade saying, I said shit, like, oh, you'd feel, not supposed to, and then there's the innocence is going away, and you kind of, I think that's it. It's like the return to innocence. You go there, and now it's like, all right, let me kind of peel back and not, maybe that's the cycle. You start, you don't, and then you come back to that, like, ends how it begins type thing. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know if I ever heard my mom cuss as a child. My dad, like I said, when you hurt his head or you bang his head or something like that, would give a shit or damn it out of him.
Right, and that's that's like my mom too. Like, don't curse, don't curse, don't curse. But now they're older, and so you curse, and then I curse, and it's like, don't say that, girl. You said it. Whatever. Yeah.
Right. I also think that I use it as a trick. Because I know that in certain environments, all right, I'll give you an example. Well, I use it as kind of like a trick to, all right, I'll just give an example. We're in a meeting once with Playboy, and we're going to do this big event with Playboy, and there's like 10 people in this meeting from the radio station, from Playboy, from the venues that we're going to, and everybody's in suits except for me. I'm the radio guy, and the guy on the radio, and everybody else is professionals. So we're going around in this conversation, and it's just very dry and it's not where it needs to be. So I chime in. And purposefully, in a weird way, cuss, because it was just so stuffy in there.
Break
right?
the ice. Yeah.
It was so stuffy in there, and I didn't feel like the conversation was moving the way it should. So I just chime in and I go, because these people will come out and shit, and I go and I go stop. I go when I said shit or whatever it was I said, I stopped and go, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I told, and then I pointed at some of my management, and I go, I told them not to bring me. I knew I would ruin this. Next thing you know, everybody's laughing and the conversation
changes.
Goes off. Right.
My dog.
Right.
Thank you.
So there's a part of me that does that because I know that it loosens the room.
Yeah.
There's another part of me, though, that I think I do it for manipulation purposes. Like if I'm saying, shit and fuck, I know in certain environments that somebody may think less of me, like they like I'm not smart, know. So sometimes I feel like I do it just to set somebody up to
show them how intelligent you really are, so they can get them to be like, oh, and maybe I was wrong.
Well, I don't know. I just I like to cuss. It feels good.
Hey man, I saw this YouTube. I'm gonna find it, man. But there was this. I don't know if he was a yogi. I don't know what he was, but he was giving this speech in front of like lots of people, and he was giving the different definitions of how you could use the word fuck, and he wasn't negative. He's like, yo, it's like it could be used as a what the fuck is that?
That's fucking awesome.
Fucking awesome. Fuck,
Or so think about it. So if it's and this is my point. Was I in that meeting? Was I the stuffy management? No, Kurt. Oh wait,
stop.
Well, that would have been.
You should know.
Well, that would have been 1999, I think, 99 or 2000. That would have been 102.5 back then. So I don't know if you might have been in that meeting. You might have been there. That was at the Playboy one that we had out at. I think it was the meeting was at Storman's. I think it was. But anyway. But when so cussing to me, so all right, so you use it in a positive way. Go, oh, that's effing awesome,
right?
So that goes all the way back to who made these words bad, and why are they? Because it's not like they're just bad words. These are like what's the opposite of sacred? These are words. I know what
it's opposite. Sacred.
Yeah, the Playboy Scramble. That was it, Kurt. Yep, that was the one. Yeah, so you were one of the stuffy management, Kurt.
No, but you're right about that. That's interesting. It's expression. It's interesting. We should talk more. I'm going to try to find that on YouTube. We can show it to everybody because it changed my outlook on curse words and word. I don't know. There's always dramatic. There's ways you can make it funny. There's just little ways that you can kind of make. I don't tend to curse on the shows.
And I understand why people don't want to cuss in front of their kids because they don't want their kids going to school and getting in trouble and saying, "Oh, mommy and daddy say that at home."
Yeah.
But
like I'm on stage and when I'm playing, Biggie, I won't say certain words like "douches in your bushes." I won't even say that.
Did you drop the N-bomb if it's called for in a song?
No, I don't even say that. I don't. Well, just the N.
N.
I don't say that word.
N as in Nancy.
Yeah, I don't say Nancy. Well, you know, I didn't grow up that. I wasn't raised that way. So if I start just slinging it, then that's not me. That's not, you know, I don't use it. So
it is when I'm doing karaoke, when I'm hosting karaoke at a park and rec on Wednesday nights. I have never been given the censorship speech, so I let people sing whatever they want, however they want to sing it.
Right.
Dropping F-bombs all day long.
Right.
But man, it is uncomfortable when you get somebody like last night. Remy gets up there and he does the motto from Drake. Air day.
Yeah.
But every other stanza's got a nice solid in bomb in it. And
I got a great story for you.
He's hitting it hard too. And which is one thing because he's black.
Okay.
But then earlier on in the night, like one of my first guys, this guy was like a hipster, had the ponytail, white guy with a beard, flip flops, right? And he does Kanye and then does T-Pain, or I think it was T-Pain or I don't know, one of those. Well, no, Lil Wayne. And so when there's a white guy up on stage and hitting those in bombs, that's when I'm like, oof. I think I'm just going to walk off the stage. I'm going to let him do what he's doing.
I'm not associated with this guy at all.
just in case some stuff goes down. Some stuff comes flying at the stage. Right. So you said you have a story.
Well, my story was so I play Notorious B.I.G. Juicy, and for those of you who don't know Juicy, if you don't know, now you know.
Right. Word.
So I had this dude. He was a white guy, right? And I gave him the mic. And so he's doing it, right? And it was really funny because, like, I'm the only black dude there, right? And so he's doing it, da-da-da-da. And then he's like, don't know, now you know. And he turns to me and says it, right? Now, the room is like that. So I have this moment, I grabbed the mic. And I was like, hey, man, you got really, do y'all see that? I was like, yo, it was funny. He's like, you don't know, now you know. And I was like, you're a little too enthusiastic about that. What's going on? He's like, did y'all see? It's like the Klan, his Klan helmet just popped up. And that's being funny. And I'm like, it's going to be so funny. This dude's going to go home tomorrow and be like, y'all don't believe this. I looked right at the black dude and said, and no. Man, everyone was dying laughing because it was like that moment of like, oh, and like, yo, you gotta be cool sometimes, man. You just got.
He was facing the crowd, and as soon as he gets to the end, where he turns around, looks you right.
But it wasn't as dramatic. I made it more dramatic when I was repeating it to this crowd to make it really, really funny. And it's just a funny moment, and everyone laughed, and it was just, you know, because sometimes I'm the one black dude in the spot sometimes, and so when it happens, they're all kind of looking at me to be like, well, what's he gonna do? So I just make it cool and be funny, you know. Just
all right. Since we're on black and white stuff, I got something for you. So last night, a gentleman asked me to go get management, and so I did, and because he was upset. He was upset that he wasn't getting let in, and he wasn't getting let in because he was wearing basketball shorts.
Is he white or black?
He's black. So they have a listen. This is very common in bars all around the Bay Area. They no tank tops, no basketball shorts, no hats on backwards, that kind of stuff. How do you see that?
I think I see it on both sides.
Yeah.
I think that there will be establishments that would prefer to not have certain black people in, or black people in general. And so they will, at times, I've been there in certain areas in Georgia, they will have, they will say none of this, which typically at the time black people tend to be wearing. And then I also see it on the other side where there are some people who may just like to have a certain look for their business, and they want to have it look a certain way, and it has something to do with color. So I see it on both sides. There will be this and there will be that.
Yeah. All right.
So that guy who didn't have shorts on, I mean, maybe he was offended. Maybe he went to, is it because I'm black?
He was. You tell he was offended. I didn't talk to him. I was watching the conversation. You can tell that he was upset, and I'm sure in his head, there probably is that too. It's because I'm black. Wearing basketball shorts because like I said, he got the hipster in there earlier who's wearing flip flops, a t-shirt, shorts, not basketball shorts, but still flip flops.
And so in there lies the issue. And the rub. Therein lies the rub. I don't know. It's a bummer.
The only other two things that I have today are a story about sharing chores leads to a happier relationship. And I will say, as a newly married man and a new homeowner, that some of the more fun days have been those Saturdays or Sundays where she and I just start knocking chore after chore after, and we're just both working and going through the house playing music, you know, and having a good time.
I think there's some truth to that, because if
Oh, yeah.
one person's doing it, it can only lead to resentment.
Yep.
Exactly. So it's like, well, if both people are doing it, it's a team, it's a bond. I remember going to summer camp where they would put the CITs, or like the teenagers, they'd, you know, have 3 CITs, and you got to do dishes. And so it was a teamwork thing. And, you know, yeah, there's something about camaraderie and teamwork. I think that makes sense.
And there are times that she does resent me because I will leave dishes longer than she'll leave them, right? And so that is a bone of contention in the house. She wants, you know, instead of putting the dishes in the dishwasher or in the sink or in the dishwasher, wash them right there and put them on the rack to dry. Well, we have a dishwasher, and so for me, I'm like, just rinse them off. You know, get the chunks off,
right?
Stick it in the dishwasher. And I know there's only 2 of us, so every like 3 days we'll run the thing, and so that's a bone of contention in the house.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like being divorced
help solve all those problems.
No, well, yeah, but I would say that being divorced, it's easy for us to find any little thing, but a small hole. Like, I've watched a football game where there's like a small little hole in someone's like jersey, and then it just gets really big. So any small hole in your relationship, be careful of it exploding. So I feel like in a situation like that, and I get it, like, she makes sense. I get that. I understand the efficiency and, like, you know, cleaning it, get it done, no mess. I also understand I get, and that's where I say, you know what, that's one of those things where it might just be best to just both parties just be like, whatever. Because
all right, I need to explain to her why I do, because she thinks it's just out of pure laziness, and that's only half of it.
Laziness. I don't necessarily say lazy. It could just be like how you were brought up.
Well, also it's to me it's efficiency, because if you're going to do it every single time, so you get a cereal, so there's just a bowl and a spoon,
right?
So you're going to turn on the hot water and sit there and wait minutes for it to turn hot, and so that's a waste of a lot of water to me, just to wash one thing. But not only that, that's not what she does. She'll just turn it on, wash before it, not even wait for it to get hot, wash it and put it up there. So I think she and I just need to have a talk about, hey, this is the way I see it, this is the way she sees it, and then come to
just
some
bygones be bygones, man. Like,
because in the end, if this is something she wants to press on, like, no, I like it this way, then I'm gonna say screw it, whatever. Then let's get rid of the dishwasher.
Yeah, because
let's put something else there.
The thing is, you have to be, and this is the problem with relationships. I understand her part, but like, if she, quote unquote, win, let's just say she gets her way on that, well, then she could be left with you resenting her in a way. And that's the small hole I'm talking about.
Oh, I see.
And you may not know that you resent it, but you just might. And I'm saying, hey, man, pick and choose some of that, dude, because divorce sucks, dude.
Oh no, I'm not even thinking.
I'm saying you get to a point. It's the small things, like when one resentment leads to another, and it could be years. All I'm saying is try to avoid anywhere you can get any kind of resentment. And I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I get it. I understand, but it's
Lauren's back. My wife is back, Chris.
What'd she say?
I missed most of the topic, but there's no reason for stinky dishes to sit in the sink for 3 days. You are 100% right.
Well, is that what you said you were doing, dude? You didn't say.
Well, she does have. There are dishes in the sink right now that have been there for 3 days, so she does have a point on that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, I understand, because I can get flies, and you made it sound like, you know, you get it done, and then maybe the next day you put it, or you made it sound like there's chunks, and then you put it in the dishwasher.
Well, that's what I wanted. That's what I want to do. That's the process
different.
I wanted.
You didn't say that. You made it sound like that's how you do it, and I was like, well, but if you're leaving it for days, yeah, kid, I understand that aspect.
Yeah, and she also has known me for a very long time, and she's been at my house when I was a single man when we first started dating, and she remembers the flies that were coming out of my sink.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think and maybe baby steps. I mean, because like I say, I understand the get it clean. I've said that just clean it right away, but maybe you want to do baby steps, Chris. Maybe start with the dishwasher, and then, you know, maybe do something at the end of the night. You clean it up. At the end of the night, you clean it up.
Contrary to what you said about rinsing the dishes off and putting them in the dishwasher, you don't do that. Well, yeah, right. I don't do that anymore because.
So why are you lying to everybody then, man?
No, I'm telling. No, that's what I wanted to do. That's what we started to do. But then we went back to just wash them and put them up on the rack. And so I guess I just need to.
Right now, there are people being like, "Oh God, click, getting off the show." Right. Sorry, we'll bring it back to something else. Yo, clean your shit, Chris. Just clean it.
Here she is again. He used to fill the sink with water and just float the dishes in there. It was disgusting for days.
You know, it's funny. The girl I dated before,
I love you, honey.
She used to do
I
the
love
same
you so
thing.
much.
She would say, "Let's just put it in there, let it soak," and then, and man, everyone's different, man. It really is. I had a friend whose dad was very military, and he was like, you know, you got to wash it and put it away right away. And my family wasn't like that, and so when we lived together, he and my friend, oh, you can imagine those days, those arguments. So I mean, I think at the end of the day, we just have to remember, like, everyone is a little different, and we all think we're right, but there is efficiency. Just, you know, just try to be. Try to be cool.
All right. And the last story that I have today to bring in is coming out of Africa and okafrica.com.
What? I'm not going to Uganda. I'll tell you that right now. Why would you? What?
Uganda's president wants to ban oral sex, and he says that the mouth is for eating. The mouth is for eating, not for sex. We know the address of sex, says the president, Museveni. Uganda's president has issued what he calls a public warning against oral sex.
What?
The president claims the practice has been pushed on Ugandans by outsiders and argues that the mouth is solely for eating.
So what if you're married to someone? You're saying I can't do whatever with my wife? And what? That's kind of weird, dude.
Let me take this opportunity to warn our people publicly about the wrong practices indulged in and promoted by some of the outsiders. One of them is what they call oral sex. The mouth is for eating, not for sex. We know the address of sex.
Give it an African voice. Go ahead, try that.
African? See, all right.
Try.
All right.
You're an actor.
All
Don
right.
Cheadle did a British dude in Ocean's 11. Act. Go. Africa.
Let me take this opportunity to wait.
What is that?
Let me take this opportunity.
That's not Africa.
I think that was more Ace Ventura.
Let me take this opportunity to warn our people publicly about the wrong practices indulged in the promoted by some of the outsiders.
All right. I like that. All
Thank
right.
you. I just saw Black Panther. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to act like I'm just really that good. I just got brushed up on it. So.
All right. So Uganda is off my list of go-to countries.
Thanks, brother. Thank you for letting me know. I was planning on going there next year. Thank you, man. You saved the day.
Nikki just pushed the wide open surprise face. That's it.
She's like, what?
Uganda. Good luck on that tourism. All right. Thank you so much for being a part of the Wake.Show today. My name is Chris Fisher, along with Chris McCarty. Chris, it was great to see you as always.
Cool, man.
Let's do it again tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow we got a guest. We have a guest tomorrow from, what the hell's the name of his? I'm sorry, I don't have the information in front of me right now. It's called Whipster, is it? I'll have to look it back up. But basically, you know, for those of you that are using ride sharing, Uber and Lyft, and going back and forth and trying to find the best deals, this is, do they call it an aggregate? An aggregate? Where it brings all of those onto one app, you know, and everything from Uber and Lyft to, I think, taxis and buses, the bus routes to like everything, and comparing prices for you, stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. They're out of the Bay Area here, so they're going to stop in and we're going to talk. Because also there's a lot going on in the ride sharing industry right now, a lot of changes. So we'll get caught up on all that kind of stuff coming up tomorrow. So you gigging tonight?
Yes, I'll be at the Hard Rock, 7 o'clock to on the lobby. So Hard Rock Cafe lobby, and come check out your boys. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's always fun.
Hard Rock in Tampa. If you're on the St. Pete side, join me tonight, 7 o'clock at Mastery's St. Pete Beach Blind Pass, 7 p to about 8:30, and we'll have some fun, do some trivia, give away some beers and gift cards and stuff like that. So have a great day. Be good to yourself. Be kind. Do you want to? Are you good? You got anything to say, or do you any songs you need to get out before you go? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
You're all right. Have a great day. Be good to yourself. Be kind to your fellow man, and most importantly, let your crazy breathe.